it's another day in the garage today, and we have a 2002 RXDI, I believe. Yeah, this is from a subscriber. The boot for the tilt trim rotted out. Can't even tell by looking here, but there's actually a big hole and a tear in it, and it let the water in and ruined the trim motor. So he replaced the trim motor, but apparently now it only goes down and doesn't go up. So we're going to dig into this thing. We're going to change the boot for him and see why it doesn't go up and down. Hopefully it isn't the module that's in there, but we're going to tear into it and see what's going on. I guess the first thing we should is just verify what is going on is truly what's going on. So I guess we'll pop the tether in and try the trim, see what happens. I hear it clicking. Okay, well, that is verified. So let's see what's going on. Possibly a fuse too. Get the Ebox out. There's 3 bolts here in the top, which don't seem to be very tight. And down she drops out. Goes right through that air box. And that's out. Well, that would explain the clicking and not moving. The wires aren't connected. So let's find the wiring harness for that and get that hooked up. That's kind of weird, but maybe he had it and then gave up on it and disconnected them. Okay, I hooked up a meter, got it on 20 volts DC, and hooked up to the harness that comes through the housing to see if we got any power. Trim down, 12 volts. Let's trim up. Nothing. No volts coming up. That be a switch issue? This could be more complicated. I've seen weird things. I'm going to check the fuses because I have seen it where one side works and for some reason the other way doesn't work. So let's check that first and then we'll check the wiring. Just had another thought. If that trim module is all the way up or all the way down, then you're not going to get any volts coming out of that. We'd have to set it for mid-range. I'm thinking we're going to take that trim motor right out and then I can adjust the trim to the middle range. Mind you, it would tell us up on the dash, wouldn't it? We could check that. That would be why it wouldn't go the other way. It says it's right in the middle. I'm gonna pull the motor out anyway. She's tight in here. Now we can see what's going on here. Let's have a look if there's been any change now. Okay, hooked up again. Tether. No up. Not even a click. Okay. More diagnostics required. So next step, motor's off, we're set to the neutral position. Just pull apart the connector and we're going to check the integrity of the switch to see if the switch itself is actually doing what it's supposed to do. So let's get the meter in there and we'll test that. And purple, what do we got here? Green and black. Push the down button. Okay, now blue and black, guessing for the up. And that's the up. So that's starting to lead me to believe that the module is bad. I have another one. I'll see if that one's any good. If it is, we'll plug it into here and see what happens. There's my other one. And plug that into there. There should be a power. And let's just see if we hear the click before I get the meter out. Oh yeah. Up, down. Let's hook the trim motor up here. And let's see if we get some movement in both directions. Confirmed by and that would be the stop point. And down. Of course, it's not moving, so there. So this one works that I have here. But it's these modules, they will go bad. So now, I guess it's up to him to decide whether he wants to replace that or not. What else can I do to test it? There's everything. I can hook it back up again and see if for some reason it started working from me wiggling wires. So why don't we do that first, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do. And his motor hooked up to his unit. Tether back on again. Down. Up. Dead. That module, one of the sensors is messed up. Let's crank it all the way up. Yeah. No up. Okay. Module change time. Now that the diagnosis is confirmed, we're going to pull the drive off and replace that module, replace the boot, put her all together, and we should be good to go. So I'm going to pull the reverse bucket cable, spring, steering, and the trim arm as well, and then we'll undo the bolt that's way up in there, pull that thing out of there. Let's get her done. Kind of tight quarters again. Oops. Oh, gee. Okay, disconnected. We have to pull the spring there. These. It keeps bending more and more every time I use it. Short end of the spring. In. Okay. Now we got to get these bolts out, and they look like 13 mil. Everything else looks pretty good. Now we got to take this nut and bolt off. Wonder if I can get a socket in this way. Yes. Now, the boot. Those are going to be, I have a whole new clamp. Yeah, that's on there. Good. There we go. The boots just go to nothing. Okay, now pull the I guess I can push it forward. Got to get a big socket for that sucker. Let's see what I got. Okay. This could be a little bit ugly because it's 1 5/16 inches, and I don't have a socket that big. Maybe, just maybe. This is kamikaze, I don't like this. That's the next thing I'm getting. Is this socket for this. Good. That rubber washer. Get him out of there. Ha. Oh, I gotta cut all the wires off, or the zip ties, so let's do that. And module extraction complete. I'm gonna just clean up the other one, pop her in. Let's slide the housing back in. The new one, new used one. Route the cables, and then we'll zip tie them back up. Reinstall the rubber O-ring, or not O-ring, it's actually an O-ring on the other side that has to be on there too, which I checked and it is, and the plastic nut. That's not sitting straight on there, I don't think. There it goes. It was. That way fits good. And the trim rod, I think it goes this way. So what do you say we test it before we put it all together? I say yes. All right. Up, down. I think we got her. Let's continue assembling. Pop the trim motor back on, which can be challenging trying to line the splines up. Sometimes you got to spin it a bit. There it goes. These bolts, pain because you can't get a socket in there very good. That's going to be the other drill. That's impossible to get at. Another wonky Seadoo design. That one, no way, I don't think. Oh yeah, she went. Okay, we'll do a test again. Full limit. Full limit. I think what we'll do, we'll put the cover on, put this all back together, and then we'll put the drive back together. Little hole right there, saves you a lot of bucks. So dark in here, I cannot see what I'm doing. Gonna have to move the camera. Take my word for it, I get it on. And Ebox time. This is a whole whack of pieces that all have to fit together. And yep. Another test again, just to be sure. All good. I'll put the two vent pieces in. One there. It's right there. Couple of caps, push in. These might fit. Might have to drill them out a little bigger. No, they fit. I'm not going to push them all the way in so you can remove them. There. That looks good. Kind of dirty in here, but let's get to the back end. Trim boot comes with the clamps and a new boot. I don't know if you can see that part number on there. And the boot goes on. I just put the clamp around here loosely. Maybe that's going to be in my way. Because you want to make sure it's all the way on. And it is. And that one goes flush on that lip there, so there's a lip at both ends. Now can we get the clamp on, you see? I think we can. And good. Next step. So another thing I just realized, I didn't put the zip ties on the clamp back there. So I took this off, zip tied it back on. I don't think you can see, maybe you can, because that was too sloppy. Yeah, there you can see. Couldn't live with myself, so put that back on, put that back together. So now we're moving on to putting the housing back on. So put the arm, does that need Loctite? Nope. $10 mil. Beautiful. Oops. Check our O-rings up there, up top, they're on. And I think we're ready to put the housing back on. Got to get some Loctite for the bolts. A little bit of maneuvering. How about some light? Nope, guess not. It was too much to ask. Got the Loctite on the bolt. You need lots of hands for this. Probably doesn't need Loctite, it's got lock washers, but everything vibrates so much on these machines. I like to put it on. Gonna have to get the torque wrench now. Okay, 20 NM to start.
Plastic housing. I don't like that one.
That's it. This has probably got a split in the plastic, which it does. So that's as far as we're going. Might just back that off a bit. Yeah, that's better. Light tight. Old parts. Okay. Now, hooking up all the reverse parts and everything again. And this guy goes this way. Not much thread on that either, it's just a tiny little thread. Steering. And the spring. Springage. Short part down in there. I think I got to get the other. No. Let's see if we have steering. I need to set up a mirror right in front of you here. Steer, reverse, or forward, reverse. And now we need to check the trim. I can't see it. Still can't see it. Where the heck is it? Now I can see. That looks good. Should we take it down to the water and go for a little test rip on it? At least check it for leaks. Let's do that. Now we're in the water. Woo! It's a little chilly. Let's check for leaks. Not seeing anything leaking. Let's get it right out in the water. Dry, dry, dry. just launched. No other leaks. Trim is all the way down. I don't know if you can see that gauge or not. All the way down, all the way up. Let's take her for a rip. Perfect. Well, that's her. Another successful repair. The only thing I noticed is that the trim does not, the gauge doesn't go all the way up on here yet. When I check the travel on the back, it's going all the way up and all the way down. So I guess that just really doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, but everything else I see looks good. We're all tight and snug. Weed in there. I say that's success. So that's about it for that. Now, what is next? Next, I'm going to work on that GTX to see if we can get that top end sorted out, but this sort of came up first. So he's good. He's on his way. Time to pull the GTX out of the water and get her going. So until the next one, thanks for watching.